Residents in the West Rand are complaining of gangsterism, ill discipline amongst pupils, and an unregulated scholar transport system as some of the challenges at schools in the area. Gauteng's Department of Education today hosted an Imbizo on school safety. It comes after the third quarter crime statistics, which show that Gauteng alone, 21 incidents of rape and murder were recorded at educational institutions. Newzroom Afrika's Katleho Sekhotho is in Krugersdorp and has more. Kat, good to speak to you. Can you take us through what has been happening there today?
Hugo, indeed, it's been an interactive session between Gauteng education government officials as well as school governing body members and the wider community, parents as well, really being given an opportunity, as it is an Imbizo, to engage the department about the challenges that learners face, about issues around safety, and these have been brought to the MEC and, following this Imbizo, certainly the speakers highlighting there that it needs not end today, but continue as an ongoing discussion about how to keep schools safe and so that there are a conducive environment for learning for children. But I do have with me the MEC to give us more details. MEC, thank you for your time. An interactive session between yourself and the community. What do you take away from this, and are you going to be coming back to engage the community?
Thank you. No, definitely we will be back. Obviously not in an Imbizo setup, but rather into individual schools, which we know there are. For example, here we're dealing with 17 that are in the red, that have come and they've raised their issues. Some of them, of course, they're cross-cutting. Gangsterism is cross-cutting. Learner ill discipline is one that has been flagged over and over and over by parents and the SGBs here in the community, as well as one that really stood out a lot is the private scholar transport, which they did raise, that it is a problem. These learners come to school, maybe they fight in buses, the bullying starts there. So those are the key issues that I really I feel that they were flagged a lot. But we do have interventions in place, and there's a general commitment that they want to work with us to get those particular schools right.
Now, MEC, one resident or parent highlighting things like corporal punishment, and you really taking a stand to say the law does not allow that. Are you worried that some parents have this sentiment that perhaps corporal punishment is a solution?
The law doesn't allow it, which is you correctly put it. It's not a solution. You can't really beat up our children in school. I know that in the past, the parents feel, the older generation feels that it brought them right. However, in these times, the woke generation, the woke period is different. We need to be innovative in terms of how we really enforce learner discipline. That's why it's important that schools adhere to their own code of conduct. As much as we give them a generic, they need to add on areas which they're able to enforce to get their learners disciplined. And true, if you enforce them, kids learn by example. When they see that the school it doesn't tolerate ill discipline, they take you to detention, they suspend you, they expel you. I can tell you, learners begin to follow the line, follow the queue, and understand that here we're here to study, and if we're studying, we're on the right side of things. But if not, on the other side, we'll then end up being expelled, and that's not what they really want kids as well. So it's important, but corporal punishment, no.
Absolutely. MEC, one of the solutions raised was to have SAPS officials or law enforcement officials stationed outside schools in the mornings, as well as when kids leave after school. Is that a sustainable solution? Do you hope you just use it for a certain time period, or you'll see as you go along?
It has to be sustained. The colonel said they don't have vehicles. I'm sitting there thinking that we just donated around 200 vehicles to the SAP as Gauteng government. Give me those 75 cars that we donated and bring them to me so that they can then go and get, these schools. So I was surprised when they were saying that, but it's okay. Yes, it should be sustained. Really, it's not something that I can say maybe for a period, at least they need to be there for 6 to 12 months, if not plus. You know, on a permanent basis, a relationship with the school and the local police station, it's important. So that those vehicles, when they're there, for instance, you know, these kids what happens in the school, because they stay in different areas, they form groupings in those particular areas. They become gangster one for this community, this particular gangster. So they fight in buses, or when they land in school, the battle starts that this group, this particular township, are fighting with these ones. So it's important that that visibility is there, so that they understand that not in school premises, not closer to the school, and because that's the only time they can actually interact with each other. It's before school or after school, next to where they get on this transport. So the visibility, for me, it's a non-negotiable, and I'm adamant. I want those cars to be present in the morning and after school.
MEC, thank you so much. We'll leave it there. So, Hugo, you've heard it from the MEC, making it a non-negotiable to have police stationed outside schools in the mornings when learners arrive, as well as in the afternoons when they leave. And this is due to, you know, parents highlighting issues of children being mugged and children fighting, different gangs meeting outside schools, and really it's just to stamp out some of that crime that happens outside of school premises. So certainly the MEC saying that an interactive session here that doesn't end today, but will certainly continue onwards.
Katleho, Sekhotho, I don't imagine by any stretch of the imagination, if you will, that process will be an easy one coming to us from Krugersdorp, where that Imbizo between the education department and the community has just taken place.